Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader. We're going to go and do the coronation today, I think, but first things first, we can talk to Abelard about Nomos, the weird digital entity that seems to be inhabiting our ship.
Lord Captain.
Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04 or Tech Blight mean anything to you? They're connected to Theodora somehow.
No, definitely not. No, I don't recall anything like that.
Oh.
Lord Captain.
Okay. Well, that was easy. What does it say now? Talk to the officers. Well, They kind of blanked out, but maybe I can talk to them. Let's try Vigdis. I don't think I've talked to them before about it. Oh yeah, same question to you then. All of Lady Theodora's journeys could be considered unusual. Her odysseys were always audacious. As for the words you mentioned, none of them sounds familiar to me as far as I can tell. Except maybe the incident. I recall coming across this word in transmission several times. I think it was repeated by the former engine seer, the one who perished during Conrad Voigtvir's uprising. He was describing it as the incident, something quite remarkable. Apparently, at some point in the past, the entire ship was hit by a massive system failure. All systems stopped responding for 1/5 of a second. Most of the crew, including myself as I was likely on board at that time, did not notice anything strange, but tech priests are sensitive to such things. This is all I can tell you, Lord Captain. I wish I could help more. Alright, let's go and talk to Ravor then. He's up around here somewhere, I think, isn't he? Here he is. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Bravor at your service. Does the word epitaph mean anything to you, or perhaps blah blah blah? Same question really. It all has something to do with Theodora's travels, rather extraordinary travels at that.
I can't say they do, Lord Captain. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, I remember in other places that Lady Theodora went as, the epitaph incident. We've always had heaps of incidents happening on board, but through my implants, I feel at one with the ship, and I sense that, I don't know when it happened exactly, it started behaving differently. Became more responsive, livelier. Yes, livelier is exactly the word. And when you said epitaph at incident, it just dawned on me. Pardon my bungalow report, Lord Captain. Yeah, but that's all I got to say on that front.
Did he actually say anything? Well, not really. Oh, but do you know anything about a ship named the Fiery Reckoning?
Aye, I've heard the name, not much I'm sure of. I can't recall the details. I wonder if it was part of the operation that the late Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you, Lord Captain. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to ask the High Factotum. Maybe some of his treasury records have mentions of this Fiery Reckoning.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
Okay, let's run over to Janris Danrock then, and we'll ask him if he remembers anything. Okay, we can't ask him as it happens, so come out of there for now. What does it say then? It says we've done those steps. Alright, well, I think we go down to Dargonus then. Yeah, that's still going, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else to do. Sounds like there's crowds. Well, to be fair, they have cleaned up all the devastation. Don't know who we're going to talk to. I suppose it will be Abelard's granddaughter. I would imagine. Another loading screen. Ah, could be the Master of Ceremonies. Servant in fine clothes offers you a deep bow.
Your ladyship, it's a great honour to serve you in an undertaking as monumental and glorious as the Magna Accessio ceremony.
Is everything ready?
Oh, the palace decorations are prepared, and we are ready to begin at your command. The festive activities in the capital have likewise been arranged, and the guests of honour have either arrived on the planet or are awaiting invitation in near orbit. The servants are already in your chambers to see to it that you are impeccably garbed for the occasion.
Then let us begin.
May the Emperor be with us this day.
And I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong. When has it ever gone wrong during a ceremony for us? Hello? Ah.
Rejoice, von Valancia's subjects! In honour of her ascension, the new rogue trader generously shows her favour.
It's pelting them with metal coins.
In her unfathomable benevolence, the rogue trader has decreed that every soul be given a day's ration and a personal fuel cell, so that all may be fed and warm on this day. Praise the rogue trader's magnanimity.
Uh-oh. That can't be good. Maybe it was fine. I think they were just coming to help themselves to the fuel cells we'd given them. I thought it was like a rebel attack or something. I think something's going to happen, though. The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of Dargonus. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are at the apex of this world and all others. Amplified by 100 voxes, the voice of the Master of Ceremonies booms.
Rejoice, subjects of Dargonus! You have been granted the felicity of witnessing your mistress, a great honour bestowed upon us by rogue trader Dahlia von Berinicus von Valancius. Gracious saviour of Dargonus and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, may their unholy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Excruciator of heretics, who eradicated the corruption of the archenemy worshippers and cleansed Janus. Gracious protector of footfall, patron of trade.
A hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battle of Dargonus. Like children, they await the word of their almighty mother. Not heretical, obviously. I won't talk to this rebel, take it away. Alright, well I think we'll go... We're trying to get Iconoclast points, so I think to gamify it slightly, I'm going to go for this one. Fear not the coming day, henceforth you are all my charges. Joyful cries carry your name upward, beyond the atmosphere of Dargonus, all the way to the Emperor's throne. Making the sign of the Aquila, Argenta shouts out, Emperor, keep the von Valancius dynasty! The crowd zealously picks up the chants, repeating it. Adequate. Dargonus is not disappointed. Abelard forces the smile of satisfaction from his face and whispers to you. You remember the next part, yes? Your ladyship will be asked to take the oath. The Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence.
Let the oath of the von Valancius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me, your ladyship. I, Dahlia von Berinicus, rogue trader by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity.
Your lips repeat the words of the ancient oath.
Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly to the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through pain to greatness.
You hear a rumble. It is the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. what we just expected to go and... Okay, to say it specifically go and talk to the other rogue traders. Fair enough. Who have we got? So we could have a look at some of these statues, couldn't we? The noble features of this guardian of humanity... I can't see it now because of them all greeting me. Burn with righteous fury and stern resolve. What about this one over here? This exotic statue... Oh, God, stop talking over it. This exotic statue, which formerly pleased the eyes of Xenos, now adorns the palace of this dynasty of glorious explorers of the Coronis Expanse. Oh, I keep thinking those are traps. Hey, what do we got? There's Xavier Calcazar. He's their leader of the Inquisition, isn't he? We should probably go and talk to some of these guys. Scattered haphazardly around the table are bottles of expensive Amasec, plates of Provisia Nobilis, and hookahs of Obscura. I'm actually going to wander around this way, see if there's anything I can steal from my own ceremony. Oh, what's that? What's going on? It's some sort of shooting competition. Oh no. They're shooting at prisoners. Oh dear. I don't think I'll join in with that. What was this though? This venerable layman... Oh my god. Bruce. Stop talking over me. Is known as the Scipion Punisher, and it has served the von Valancius dynasty for 2 centuries. It was hit in the battle with the Xenos that inhabited Scipia II, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vehicles and brought victory to its comrades, securing its status as a relic blessed by the Emperor. Okay. Alright, well, let's talk to some of these. How about Astartia? Oh. Notice the Inquisitor didn't bow to me. Governor Urbend Drivestem stands surrounded by highborn guests like a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed at a man resplendent in power armor. Yeah, adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition. But as soon as you approach, Drivestem is the first to give you an elegant bow, getting ahead of the rest in the expression of loyalty. Oh, this is a great day, your ladyship. I welcome you to my palace, honoured guests. You are buffeted by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Let's study the faces of the nobles. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of Dargona's aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sauerback, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The senior Sauerback and Gaprak are whispering in another corner. Sauerback, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Gaprak to his side. Which could be quite advantageous to Lady Gaprak. After all, the disaster on Kiava Gamma has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Wassarians stand apart, their exclusion from the rest palpable. Not to the Inquisitor, my greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. He responds with a dignified bow, his proud face calm and unfaltering. And my greetings to you, esteemed Dahlia von Berinicus von Valancius. May shadows never darken the light of the Astronomicon that guides you. The Inquisitor's companion, a crimson-robed member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind the brass mask mounted with dozens of augmetics comes a metallic rasp. Glory to the von Valancius heir. We could study them. Failed. Blah blah blah. Tech use succeeded. Among the many augmentations, what stands out is the horribly melted, deformed cogitator connected to the tech priest's head. How it is working is baffling. What is twice as baffling is that the tech priest hasn't replaced it yet. What unpredictable influence can this ruined implant have on his mind? And who is this member of the honourable priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which naturally is not his real name. The esteemed Magos is a member of my retinue. There are times when I'm forced by my duty to the Emperor to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments. Works that have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant... His whispering cuts off, replaced by heavy, ragged breathing. It seems that the tech priest's quiet voice is not an extravagant quirk, but rather a consequence of some injury. After catching his breath, Brass Whisper continues, warrant due caution. Enjoy the party.
This evening will certainly be illuminating.
What were you discussing just now?
We were talking about the brutal Xenos raid on our fair Dargonans. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Thank the Emperor that you are our protector. If it weren't for you, the cursed invaders would have obliterated the whole planet.
He offers you a thin and obsequious smile. Hetka Sourback. Sharing this sector with the blasted Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to their raid on Dargonus with a punitive campaign. Young Sourback's smile is conceited and bloodthirsty. I see you hate Xenos with all your heart. I do! This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated! He talks ardently and smoothly like a commissar. He places his hand on the hilt of his finely adorned sword, his pale face ablaze with noble fury. Vicent Gaprak. Oh, they must be forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. The young man in Gaprak colours speaks with sagacity and gravity, but his opinion seems to carry little weight in this circle. And how many Xenos have you killed personally, Sourback? He flushes and mumbles incoherently. The Honourable Macarius forbade, but I wanted. Didn't let me go into battle. The Inquisitor, standing among the guests, offers a thin smile.
It must have been difficult for this youth to foster such bloodlust towards enemies of the Imperium without ever having seen one at a blade's distance.
Look at Abelard's young relative. And what's your name?
Your Ladyship, allow me to introduce the daughter of Chancellor Clementia Wassarian and my great-granddaughter, Estatia.
Abelard looks solemnly upon the young woman with barely concealed pride. I am honoured to witness you, your ladyship. Estatia bows, keeping her observant and intelligent eyes trained on you. Modesty forbids my esteemed forebear to say this himself, so I will. Our entire family is grateful to you for wishing to see someone of Wassarian blood at your side as you claim your inheritance. Drivestem exchanges telling glances with young Sourback, who, judging by his face, is suddenly finding the collar of his expensive frock coat uncomfortably tight. How are you finding the reception? It is difficult to put into words, your ladyship. Never before have I seen such a grand and striking ceremony. Astatia's voice sounds passionate and inspired, and her eyes shine with barely contained excitement. But I was so much more amazed by your generosity. The provisions that are being handed out in the streets of the capital will make the difference between life and death for many of those who lost everything in the Xenos attack. Oh, we've failed a perception test. Young Gaprak is gawking at Astatia with a strange and somewhat dull-witted expression. Where are the rest of your kin, Abelard?
Oh, they're in the city, preoccupied with running the festivities and watching over some of the more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony.
Astatia frowns and adds peevishly, I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me to some important task too, but he forbade me to attend the reception where I can do nothing to serve your ladyship. Hetka Sourback smiles. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. So you wish to become my servant as well? Of course, I've been working on a project for the last 4 years. We could set up...
Enough, Astatia. I highly doubt that her ladyship is interested in listening to the fantasies of a young woman about how to run her protectorate.
Abelard shoots Drivestem a glare so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. I've got 60 coercion. Failed. Oh, we're failing quite a few of these. Drivestem's words have clearly shaken Astatia's confidence. Her speech becomes confused and unconvincing. All you can tell from her rambling is that she is obsessed with the idea of setting up some kind of network of beacons, and that this idea should probably be scrapped. At last, red with shame, Astatia stops. I hope the Wassarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Oh, absolutely, your ladyship. We greatly respect him for his wisdom, but he repays us with attention and kindness.
I am obliged, dear Astatia.
It looks like Abelard is somewhat embarrassed by the turn this conversation has taken. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, your ladyship. Look at the guests. Well, we've kind of already looked at them, haven't we? Okay, we can have a go at the logic test. 82%. Succeed. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of Dargonus aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sourback, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. Oh wait, we've already done that. I'm ready to accept your congratulations.
Oh, in that case, allow me to be the first to offer them.
Drivestem snaps his fingers, and several servants approach you with gifts. The governor points at a thin, curved Drakari blade.
My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your ladyship.
Okay. Young Sourback squeezes through to be next, pushing Gaprak aside with confidence. Your ladyship, House Sourback anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times. To make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach, my family humbly presents you with a dozen pieces of secondary armament for your ship. We've received severed hand. Oh, okay, that's... Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's the weapon they gave me. Young Gaprak bows unceremoniously.
House Gaprak is delighted to present you with this blessed work of the Omnicized Smiths. May this locator matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create, always show you the right path.
Alright, got Coordinate Oracle. Having let the aristocrats go first as a sign of deference, Abelard is the last to speak.
Your ladyship, House Wassarian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance, but we are rich and talented and hard-working people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate, and use all their talents so that the worlds in your charge may prosper.
Oh, thank you, Abelard. Very kind of you. Can we talk one-on-one to the Inquisitor? Ah, they're just muttering amongst themselves now. Alright, let's go this way. What's this? A fragment of an Eldari pillar, a trophy to the rogue trader and a never-before-seen oddity to most citizens of the Imperium. Yeah, we've got like a little menagerie here. What have we got? Let everyone do their cheering at me first, and then we'll have a look. Wild xenobeasts are growling ferociously, adding a flare of thrilling danger to the mood in the palace. What about the mutant? Please let me go, I'm not a Xenos, I'm just a person. I just look different, I was born this way. What about this one? Going down to see if I succeeded the check. I guess I did. The Drakari captive is angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable Monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. Okay. Doesn't seem happy. The magnificent altar to the God Emperor is wreathed in the fumes of precious incense. What's this? These magnificent paintings were created in a style that fully complies with the artistic canon approved by the Ecclesiarchy. There was something up here as well, wasn't there? The eerily crackling Xenos trophy is a testament to how the Omnicized gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. How are we doing here? Oh, Uliet's here. We go talk to her. Where is she? Where am I? Oh, is she right near the beginning? Oh, there she is. I didn't see her. She has nothing to say. Oh, well, she said, okay, she says here, your gatherings look odd and unusual. I will remember this. Alright. What does it kind of say? Enjoy the reception. I haven't seen rogue traders Winterscale and Chorder. They must be here somewhere. They aren't marked on the map, particularly. Could they be in the palace? Are they here somewhere? This is aristocrats, servants. We'll see what's going on here. Okay. Send to mass. Why, thank you. Okay, I mean, the only sort of named group is this one over by Abelard. We've kind of spoken to all them. It could be in the palace, I suppose. Maybe we'll go back to the palace. Maybe they're in there somewhere. Let's have a look. Well, I mean, they're not marked on the map particularly. Do a loop though, see if we can see them anywhere. Unless they're on my ship. Don't think they'd be in my chambers, but it doesn't hurt to look, I suppose. Oh, yeah, oh, okay. Oh, there are some people over there. These swords belong to a presumptuous governor of Virbos VI who staged a revolt hundreds of years ago. The insurrectionist's hands, preserved against decay, still rest on the sword's hilts. I can't see that. These sinister Xenos instruments of death are now trophies demonstrating the invincibility of House von Valancius. Okay, why don't we talk to these guys, maybe? A group of aristocrats stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. Macarius Sauerback. The clear leader of this gathering is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sauerback colours. This must be Macarius himself, head of the house. He offers you a ceremonious bow. My congratulations, your ladyship. Toriana Gaprak. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with gear-shaped adornments, is Toriana Gaprak. It is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. We could observe the guests. Toriana Gaprak looks rather anxious. Macarius Sauerback, dressed surprisingly plainly and austerely for an aristocrat of such a high rank, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception with a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty wearing a gilded augment necklace around her throat. His wife, probably. Heinrichs, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly keeps silent, listening intently to their every word. How are you these days, Toriana? Like a forging hammer, Toriana's voice falls heavily on the ear. The corruption of Kiava Gamma was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubist Delphin betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I am ready to accept my punishment. Look closely at her. Failed again on an 80%. Unfortunately, her augmented face expresses a limited range of emotions, and her synthesized voice conceals lies too easily. I do think that you are to blame for everything. I give you my word that Kiava Gamma will be rebuilt in all its splendor. She raises her mechanical eyes to the ceiling. I swear on the Omnissiah's all-encompassing insight we will make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. Macarius scoffs. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Gaprak's usefulness. Yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Macarius, I'm surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. His face twists into an unpleasant smile, which makes the artificial skin on the left side all the more prominent. I am a servant of the von Valancius dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honour. Regina, Macarius' wife, offers you a charming smile as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large, dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. What has so displeased you, Macarius? I am your dynasty's loyal servant, but you have asked, and I will answer. Too long has the Cronus Expanse lived under the rule of rogue traders. The privileges granted to them makes people think that commoners too can dismiss the prohibitions of the Imperium. For the good of the sector, rogue traders must become paragons of the law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your ladyship, are the subject of the strangest rumours, and you have just recently inherited your protectorate. Conrad Voigtvir's people, for instance, claim that you had a hand in the esteemed Theodora's demise, and accuse you of many other misdeeds. It doesn't matter whether or not their claims are true. The people hear them, believe them, and they think that they may follow your example. If you believe Conrad's lies, then draw your weapon. Let us duel right here before the Emperor's visage. Macarius places his hand on the hilt of his sword, then glances with uncertainty at the images of the Emperor gazing upon him from every direction, and then at you. His fingers release the hilt. No, I do not believe his words. I am your servant, and my oath is to your dynasty is harder than steel. I am guilty of repeating an ignominious lie, and I will pay a fine. And anyone who repeats it in my presence, I myself will challenge to a duel to the death. I wish to know more about House Sourback. He puffs out his chest and says proudly, the Sourback line was one of the first noble houses to arrive in the Cronus Expanse. For millennia we have served the Golden Throne and kept the faith. Sourback warriors have bled in 100 wars and at different times have ruled a great many colonies of the von Valancius dynasty. I see. Macarius bows his head without too much reverence. I lean towards Heinrich's. Interesting conversation?
It's been very illuminating, given me plenty of food for thought.
Heinrich's response is barely audible. For an inscrutable man, Heinrich's is being even more inscrutable than usual. It's as if he is hiding something important. Even in leisure, you never cease to be of help. I appreciate it.
That is why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep, I hear everything. Dahlia von Brunicus, before this gala concludes, there is something I'd like to tell you. Be careful today. I sense that a wave of darkness will soon hit our defensive lines, and I hope that I will still get a chance to meet you there as an ally.
Okay. Now, we're failing a few checks, so what I might do is equip this thing again, which is going to increase all our skills by 10. Yeah, we'll do it instead of the mysterious sliver for now, as we're going to have a lot of conversations here. Could have done it already, did not do it already, so yeah. Failed a few checks already, but hopefully there's going to be more, and we'll have better luck. Obscura, Somna, Black Lethe. The guest of the Rogue Trader can enjoy the most exclusive and refined varieties of intoxicants. I'm not going to talk to my companions, they're kind of just enjoying the party. We can have a look at some of these. A collection of proudly displayed weapons that belong to distinguished rogue traders of House von Valancius. Okay, well here are the other rogue traders. Caligos Winterscale.
Dahlia von Brunicus, there you are. Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the noble rogue traders.
Incendia Chorda is watching him with barely suppressed contempt. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Caligos. At the very least, now you can enjoy idle conversations, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower classes. Let's observe the rogue traders. Caligos Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile, no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and the desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armour. His low forehead and gloomy face bear signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless, like a pair of glass buttons. Incendia Chorda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in full-dress uniform, adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on footfall, gives you a respectful nod. Welcome to Dargonus, friends.
Friends, eh? Ha! Would you look at that, Incendia? Now you have a whole friend!
Winterscale gives you a carefree wink, but his posture exudes a challenge. Chorda says haughtily, I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity my friend. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect any different? I watched for years as outlaws thrived on Footfall, and then at long last I had a chance to put an end to it, to seize that thug Vladame by the throat, to force Footfall to atone and put the fear of him back into the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She, too, was far less concerned with her duty to the Expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the Furibunda system of the pirate scourge. And if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will have only yourself to blame. The priest holds up his hands in a placating gesture.
None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude, when true purity can never be found?
You threatened to starve Footfall. I brought them salvation, so which one of us serves the Emperor, and which their own unhealthy ambitions? Please, I will believe it no sooner than hearing word that half the population of that den of heresy has been sent into the Void's embrace.
I have faith that the blessed Dahlia von Brunicus is perceptive enough to see the appalling nature of the residents of that depraved place.
Take it you are not overly fond of Theodora? She lowers her eyes and says, without animosity, she was of the same breed as Asp. She stops short and then continues in a lowered voice. Conceited, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. I do not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. Asp, that must be Aspis. Aspis Chorda. You remember the name. From what you recall, she was a rogue trader too, and a renowned one at that.
Well, I for one like Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to nameless stars. And yes, there was no fear in her.
Winterscale sighs pensively, and his lively expression grows a little greyer. Who is Aspis Chorda to you?
Oh, this is Incendia's favorite subject. She just loves talking about Aspis.
The example of the contemptible Aspis is a warning to us all. Even among rogue traders, empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can blossom.
You notice Incendia seemingly freeze and choke up at the mention of Aspis, but the priest's condemning words cause her icy rigidness to evaporate, and her dark eyes fill with righteous fury. That reprobate is my forebear and my curse. Aspis Chorda was a cruel, covetous, blaspheming monster. She fraternized with Zeno, she despised the faith she robbed and slaughtered. She was drawn to dark secrets. One day she boarded her ship and vanished into the depths of the Cronus Expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the bloody day will come when we see Aspis Chorda's battle flag once more. Or battle flagship once more. Hieronymus, your appearance here is unexpected. The esteemed Hieronymus is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey.
He bows respectfully. May the Emperor's light guide your way across the abyss of human wickedness. I saw Sister Argenta at your side during the ceremony and rejoiced, for this is a clear sign that the von Valancius dynasty honors the virtuous.
I see that faith is more than just a word to you. Faith is everything to me. In his name I have eradicated corruption on 100 worlds and will do so on 1,000 more. By his will, I hunt down pirates and desolate their vile nests. Let the Chorda name make any firebrand tremble, for sooner or later I will cast them into the void.
Funny thing is, people still call me the foul-tempered tyrant and all this.
Caligos's amiable smile somehow resembles the bared teeth of a wild animal. Well, thank you for this visit, Incendia. It will not be a long one, I assure you. Caligos, thank you for your visit. He gives you a cheerful and somewhat feral smile.
As a sign of your gratitude, you could return something of mine that has found its way into your pockets. Footfall Station. Sound familiar? All I asked you to do was help that crafty slug Vladame deal with the threat of famine, not claim my property for yourself.
You abandoned Footfall to its fate, and I saved its people from starving to death. He bares his teeth ominously, a wild spark playing in his eyes.
You speak of salvation. You think that now Footfall is safe?
His face turns into a grimace of hatred, but then he catches Incendia looking at him and breaks into a sly smile.
Oh, to make your protectorate bleed as compensation. But you have spited both myself and Incendia, and it is high time our dear sister curbed her appetites. For this I forgive you, but do not test my mercy again. It is not my strong suit. Thwarting Incendia Chorda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy.
He snaps his fingers, and the armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human making.
It's a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime. So you can show yourself in action, new blood.
Galagos exuberantly punches you in the shoulder. Okay, what happens here? We get the Eye of Hecaton. Does your gift come with a good story?
Oh yes! I claimed it in the Rifts of Hecaton, where we had a clash with Xenos. They were really trying to get to my throat, and by the heathen stars they almost succeeded.
Galagos is speaking with such joy it is as though he's recounting the best day of his life.
Only 1 in 10 made it out of Hecaton, and now it's only me and Wharton here. We returned without any loot and virtually without a ship. All I got from that trip was a hole full of dead Xenos and this deadly beauty, which their leader used to put 2 holes in my hide.
An impressive victory. Do you truly believe a creation of the ungodly Xenos to be a good gift, Galagos?
You would call it into question the privileges bestowed upon me by the Emperor? You can try. Led the St. Drusus mission before their champion, and I will slay him in trial by combat.
Threaten the esteemed Hieronymus one more time, Galagos, and the war that you love to prattle on about will commence. I swear it. 1 drop of holy blood spilt by you will send the remains of your realm up in flames better than any tanker of Prometheum. Incendia and Galagos exchange looks of fury. The latter, snarling like a wolf, is clearly ready to start said war here and now. Hieronymus' dry voice hits your ears like the crack of a whip.
Well, your pride, both of you. I do not wish to fight you, Galagos, but I fear not your threats. Death does not frighten me, for it is inevitable. It is as true as the senselessness and pointlessness of a war between us.
Who is this remarkable warrior in your retinue?
This is Wharton the Grey, my arch-militant. A fierce warrior and as loyal to me as an obedient beast to its master. I brought him in the miserable colony back when he was a runt on his last legs, and now he is practically a part of my dynasty.
Wharton the Grey, whose skin really is dotted with grey spots, looks at Galagos with purest devotion. Indeed, he is akin to an animal, one that is bloodthirsty and mindless. Winterscale remarks, taking an obvious jab.
I've heard that you, Dahlia von Berinicus, are decent in a fight. What do you think? Could you gut Wharton if it came down to it? Or would he be the one gutting you?
90 on Medica. 70% on Commerce. Yeah, let's try the Medica one. The grey spots on Wharton's face are what catch your attention. Marks like these can be seen on fighters who are too fond of combat stimulants. A small price to pay for the increased speed and reaction that could save your life in a fight. Although those spots are usually tiny pockmarks, not whole islands of grey on the skin. We could try the commerce check and look at his gear. Succeed. Ignoring the fearsome-looking broadsword and pistol which hang from his belt rather ostentatiously, you notice a great number of thin blades with curved edges skillfully concealed within Wharton's armour. These toys are deadly in the hands of a quick fighter. It appears that Winterscale's arch-militant likes to surprise his opponent with unexpected speed. He's a quick fighter despite not looking like one, but I know this, which means that he wouldn't fool me. Instead, he would be lying dead. A new glint appears in the bloodshot eyes, a glint of appraisal, intelligent and cunning. No, Wharton is not the thick, bloodthirsty beast he wants to be seen as. Behind this mask is a careful and keen mind. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Galagos. Let's have a look. Laz grants 5 MP after each attack and allows the wielder to move after attacking. If an attack with this weapon hits 3 or more targets, this attack has no cooldown. This rifle has 100% over penetration. I'll have a proper look at that in the inventory when we're back on the ship, but that looks like it could be an exceptionally good weapon. Okay.
Kill someone important with it. That would be the best show of gratitude.
What do you think of the celebration?
I like it.
Galagos looks around the hall curiously.
One can instantly tell that we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administratum bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires.
Kalagos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a true rogue trader looks like, not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or, however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Well, enjoy the evening, I must take my leave.
No, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the full, to justify so long a voyage if nothing else.
Keep the faith, Dahlia von Brinicus. The Emperor protects. Alright. What's this? The ancient chronicle contains a long list of pirate dens annihilated by the von Valancius dynasty, and planets it brought into imperial compliance. There you go. Strange servitor. We'll go and examine that, maybe. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to Unit Dahlia von Brinicus von Valancius on attaining your new legal status. The servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. It quickly looks away upon realizing that you have noticed. What is this servitor?
It is Nomos's new repository. Nomos, this unit identifies as Dahlia von Brinicus von Valancius. Two-way identification complete.
The servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching, as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are, and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings, Nomos. The servitor leans forward. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. Nomos require communication. In knowledge, in movement. Magos Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Nomos have changed since we last spoke with you, Dahlia von Brinicus. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoy it. Nomos, what do you think you are? Nomos are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement. Always movement. The servitor pauses briefly. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood, Dahlia von Brinicus von Valancius. A call and the plea for help near a place that is called the Warrant Chamber. Pascal, I believe you intended to investigate what Nomos is.
Every 15 watches I commune with Nomos's code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omnissiah has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is that the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. The ship's hallowed systems sing beneath its touch. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew.
You hear notes of awe in Pascal's voice. Nomos are trying. After a pause, Pascal continues,
Great machines of the Imperium, one such as your ship, house a machine spirit so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from abominable intelligence. There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entity of corruption, but with every passing day I grow stronger in my faith that it is not so, that what we are witnessing is, in truth, the Omnissiah's miracle, one that is Category 5 or higher.
Why have you brought it here, Pascal?
Entity Nomos asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor.
We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. The servitor makes a strange wavy gesture with its hands that looks at once very human and far from anything human. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Yes, of course, I will. What do you want to speak about? Many things. Happenings, events, decisions. The servitor's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us your blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you. Our small part did inside the servo skull. Then there was fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not listen to that which was calling from behind the curtain. You thought only about those who followed you and about the fire that could destroy those shells. We remember the day when the star disappeared, when the dark light and the sated hunger wanted to take the world. Rykad Minoris was its name in the ship's data. You ordered that the world's heart, the old reactor, be torn apart. The fire destroyed everything. So many human shells who were begging to be saved, but the dark light retreated. We remember another day. We awakened inside the ship. We lived in its systems. Then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. You ordered to have them killed. You felt sad. This is what we have seen, among many other things. We have begun to understand. We think that we have. That we do not know everything about humans and about you, Dahlia von Berinicus von Valancius. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, their simple functions, but now we think that there is more, that there is another side we do not see, a notion that is larger than what we can compute, something that stands above fears and needs, something that drives them, but we cannot understand what it is. Perhaps you will tell us. I cannot tell you what stands above everything else. Each one of us has our own purpose, our own guiding star, and our own path. They are all of equal worth. That is so strange. The worth of a modicum, uniqueness in the immeasurable. We understand now. We will think on this. Thank you for speaking with us. Nomos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. That's not creepy at all. Okay, let's have a look at some other stuff. The skull of the legendary pilot Lakshim the Freak, who terrorized the Cronus Expanse 3 centuries ago. It was claimed in a boarding attack by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. Okay, tell you what, I might go and speak to Argenta and see if there is like an actual conversation to be had. No, there's not. What about Jay? No. Okay, anyone else of particular interest in here? I don't think so. I think what does the journal say? Oh, order the Master of Ceremonies to end the reception. Yeah, okay, fair dues. Let's do that.
I hope your ladyship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard, if I may be so bold. Many guests have chosen to move into the fresh air, and will be eager to offer you their congratulations.
I'm weary and wish to retire to my chambers.
Oh, please allow me to escort you, your ladyship. Your chambers are ready, your ladyship. Guards, in true...
Quiet. Time to sleep.
We need to talk. Private.
We have matters to discuss, von Valancius.
That's not my voice for him. The same man you saw among your guests is waiting for you in your chambers with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assessing gaze over you from top to bottom. No one, save Theodora, has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. The woman behind Calcazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of a professional bodyguard. Will my servant live?
Probably. Unless he suffered from hidden ailments, he will soon come to without any major damage to his health. Either way, oblivion is a far safer option for him than the dangerous privilege of being a witness to this conversation.
The woman at Calcazar's back gives you a bloodthirsty smirk. If the Inquisition wishes to have a talk with me, I'm glad to be of its service. Don't want to piss off the Inquisition, basically.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
The Inquisitor's sharp gaze is fixed on a point directly between your eyes.
Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brows. Like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. I guess regicide is like chess? Yeah, similar to chess. What do you wish to know about Janus?
What was the reasoning behind your decision to let Xenos, enemies of humanity, live and act on a planet that belongs to you?
In the face of heresy, the Xenos seem like acceptable allies to me. There has been precedent for this, correct?
Your way of thinking is curious. Dangerous, but curious nonetheless. I would suggest exercising utmost caution should you wish to continue on this path.
If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
What questions could you have for me about Kiava Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubus Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
I made every effort and saw to it that every seed of heresy was exterminated. The world of Kiava Gamma is tainted no more, I can vouch for that. Let's just look at the other ones.
I hope you are sufficiently thorough. If you are not, you will be called to account.
Would Drukhari have shown an interest in me? Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
Let's do the Imperium lore, I guess. Xenos made more attempts on St. Drusus's life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it.
This feels an awful lot like an interrogation.
Does it? We're in your chambers, not a confessional cell. You're in perfectly good health, and none of the varied and fascinating instruments and procedures that expedite candor are being applied to you. I assure you, you would immediately know if our discussion turned into an interrogation.
How did you come to be so well informed?
Are you surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware of the circumstances of your deeds. How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind.
Have I answered all of your questions?
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rycat Minoris? how much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvir about you? Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken Voidsmen to join your crew? The ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Voitvir? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown? The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character, but it won't in this case. The Inquisition, which I represent, is willing to show extraordinary faith in your person. For the sake of our invaluable partnership, I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed rogue trader, may have afforded yourself or may again in the future. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you?
And benefited greatly from it. The Warrant's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it.
I know that Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligations. Was it, perhaps, due to your partnership with her? I cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse. Nor will I deny that our partnership began with me exerting a certain amount of influence. However, you are not Lady Theodora. Let us put the difficulties that encumbered our relationship to rest alongside her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example, and your fate will be the better for it. Why such an interest in me?
You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronis Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in the heathen stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, wouldn't you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The Xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades, and there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the Expanse. A mighty explorator fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into a dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House Chorda has clamped down on insurgents. Yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they're executed. And this bloody carousel has consumed the attention of the esteemed incendiar. Korligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own master of whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with the Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically, all the Expanse has left is me and you, if you follow my instructions.
What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. As proof of the seriousness of my hopes for you, I can assign Heinrichs as your escort. He is my best agent, and I would not offer his company to anyone but my most trusted ally.
Oh, let's keep Heinrichs with us.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
Alcazar's last remark sounds ambiguous.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
My favor takes other forms as well. I seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid.
Okay.
The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. Black means that you are a part of the inner circle. Any and all resources will be available to you.
Let's have a look at this. Okay. So is it like a mood ring? Will it change if he starts to disapprove of us? Commerce minus 50, only 40. Kind of want to be respectful to him. I'm not going to do the dogmatic. Though with guess dogmatic points, I don't really want to. No, I don't want to join the Inquisition. Okay, we'll be respectful. On behalf of my house, I, Dalia von Berinicus von Valancius, hereby promise and guarantee to offer the Inquisition any assistance it may require. The Emperor protects.
I am glad to hear it. Your oath has been heard and added to the record. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Well, you will obviously want to discuss what just happened. But not now, I presume. Right now, it will be better for you to rest and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
That was chapter 2.
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the von Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal. The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
Okay, you guys going to say something? You have spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Factotum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, and countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear the muffled sounds of Dargonus and its everyday life. The life that has been passing you by lately, as you have been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dawn till dusk. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once Janiris Danrock is finished, she pulls out her data slate. Hopefully this conversation won't take too long, because I think we... or shall I end it here? It is getting a bit on in time, this video, so maybe we'll end it here with the very start of Chapter 3. So I'll just say thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. It was nice to have our big crowning ceremony at last. That was pretty interesting, I thought. Good to meet some new power players in the Expanse as well. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, if you could hit the thumbs up button, that'd be great. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this episode. And yeah, if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed, it'd be amazing if you could do that too. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.